Yeah, the priest is to be a preacher, all right. He's to be a defender of that which is true and good. And you know, every age has its crisis. Every age has its defining moment, its defining tenet, its defining battle. I assure you, this battle for life is the defining battle in the war of our times. And the preacher who is not powerfully preaching and teaching against this evil, no matter what else he's saying, is an impotent, weak preacher. And so what are some of the elements of the priest as preacher? What does he have to do? Well, I'm going to give you some observations. Now, I've been preaching for almost 20 years now. I thought I understood preaching before. I understood the textbook elements of it. That's not enough, though. After having preached in 49 of 50 states, all the Canadian provinces other than Newfoundland, many foreign countries, after traveling 2 million miles, I have some observations on the priest as a preacher. And some of these you will think are, awfully simple. Well, yeah, Father, we know that. Sometimes the most simple things are the most overlooked. We can become very complacent, gloss over things. Number one, the priest, as a preacher, has to be a man of God. Imagine that. But what does that mean? Well, we'll look into it at some of the different elements. Number one, the preacher has to be humble. Humility. That is basically the foundation of the entire spiritual life. Many of the great saints and doctors of the church, like St. Teresa of Avila, said this. Humility is of paramount importance. Comes first. If you don't have humility, you can't do anything right. No matter what else you do as a priest or a preacher, you just won't get it right. So, humility. You have to be a spiritual person, and you can't be a spiritual person without humility. I've often said, no humility, no holiness. No holiness, no heaven. And that sums it up. And that's true for everybody. It's certainly true for the priest and the preacher. But it's very difficult for people to practice humility if they don't know what it is. Very simply, humility is the acknowledgement of the truth. Well, what does that mean? Quite simply, I acknowledge who God is and who I am. God is everything. God is all powerful, all seeing, all loving, all merciful. Me? I'm a speck of dust in the cosmos. I can do nothing as a priest, as a preacher, as a human being. I can do nothing without God. If God is for you, who can be against you? Jesus said, I am the vine. You are the branches. Without me, you can do nothing. Now this